everyone, I'm Brooklyn Kaye. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be showing you all how to make affordable makeup look expensive. Because let's be honest, there are things in the drugstore that are way better than high-end products, so I wanted to share a few of those items with you guys and some of my favorite products as well. So if you would like to see how I create this look, please keep watching, and to see more of my future videos, make sure to subscribe down below. I upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. So with no further ado, let's get into the video. So first thing I'm going to start out with is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, which I'm super excited to try. I've never tried this before. This is just the original version. Directions: apply a thin, even amount to moisturize skin prior to makeup application. Allowed to set for 30 seconds before applying foundation. Okay, so I'm moisturized and I used the Glow Recipe Watermelon Moisturizer. I love that stuff. So let's try this out. Everyone says that this is a dupe for the Tatcha one. I think everybody kind of knows that. If you've heard about this, you've heard about the Tatcha one. Feels so similar. And I'll start out with a small amount. It feels really nice and smooth. In my experience, this is a lot more like malleable, I think is what you would say. Like, it's a lot easier to smooth out than the Tatcha one. The Tatcha one is almost more, it's more stiff, I guess. Primer on. And then for foundation, I decided to go with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and I have it in the shade Vanilla, the 445. So the main thing with making cheap makeup look expensive is, especially with foundation, I mean, one, prep your skin well. Two, make sure that it's a good color match. I feel like a lot of drugstore foundations tend to go really pink on people when a lot of people tend to have more of a yellow or golden undertone. So if you are getting a drugstore foundation, make sure that you know your undertone well. I'm using the Real Technique sponge. I used this in my last video. It's this cute, I don't know, it's just so cute, the little lavender thing. Here's the pump. It's like a square shape. It's a little runny. That's really pretty, and that is like the perfect color for me from what I can see. My face is looking a lot lighter than my neck. It's just because I don't have a reflector yet to show that it's the same shade. It kind of has a teeny bit of a scent. Like, it smells good. Maybe it's like essential oils. I'm not really sure what you'd call it. And I like that it's more of a medium coverage. One thing too is a lot of full coverage foundations from the drugstore tend to be a little too dry or flaky looking. So my main tips for making drugstore foundation look expensive and just look like it's a good product is get a good match and then make sure it is for your skin type. But yeah, so far it's looking really pretty, really skin-like. It looks like I just have healthy looking skin, and I like that it's not too full coverage because it doesn't look too made up. It's not settling into fine lines at the moment. It just looks really nice and natural. And then for concealer, you guys know that I love this. I use this in like every single video. It's the 16-Hour e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Love this stuff. And I'm in the shade Medium Neutral. And if you want one that's not as heavy as this, if you like more of a lightweight concealer that's not too full coverage, I would definitely do the Maybelline Fit Me or the Maybelline, I think it's called like the Under Eye Circle Eraser. It has the little spongy tip on top. So I'm just doing this. I'm not doing too much. Like, as you can tell, I'm not dipping in. I'm just taking what is on the brush. And even with this one, when I take it out, I wipe off what's on there so I don't get too much product. So just blending that out. People say it's a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. I would say it's better because Tarte Shape Tape breaks me out. This one doesn't, and it's incredible coverage and looks really pretty on the skin. And I'm just gonna go over my eyelids. I'll set it with powder, and I'm so sorry I don't have a drugstore powder with me, but some great ones that people love is the Coty Airspun powder. I don't personally love that one. I don't really have a reason why, I just don't. So I'm going to set this with powder, and then I will be back. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery powder. I've been loving that one lately, and then I'll be back to do brows. I'm back with powder on, and for brows I'm going to be using the ColourPop Brow Boss in brunette. I know that this one you can't really buy at the drugstore, but it's definitely a drugstore price. I really like this pencil. This has been my favorite drugstore pencil so far. Hi guys, so I'm back with brows and powder on, and I did end up having to go in with a non-drugstore product. I'm so sorry. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Since I have shaved the tails off my brows, I have to go in with this just to make it look a little more realistic. Let's get into eyeshadow. I'm really excited about this, guys. So these are so inexpensive. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was either $4.99 or $5.99, but really cheap. I got the Wet n Wild My Glamour Squad palette, which if you look at this, looks very familiar. Definitely looks like another palette we all know and love. Cough Cough Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And let me just say, with these palettes, I am obsessed with the matte colors. In the past when I've tried them, I didn't love the shimmers quite as much. And then the other one I got is Nude Awakening, which is kind of a funny name, but it's just more neutral, and then you have some good shimmers in there, but they're so cheap, I was like, let's get two. I do love these shadows. The pigmentation's awesome. I feel like a dead giveaway with drugstore shadows is poor pigmentation, so this is a great way to make your eyeshadow look like it's expensive. Oh my gosh, I forgot what a pain these are to open. Let's start off with the My Glamour Squad, the Soft Glam dupe. I'm taking it on a Morphe M505, and I'm going to take the transition shade up here. So just taking that, which these just blend out so pretty. Like, I can't believe that this is a $5 eyeshadow palette. Yeah, it's really pretty. It builds up really nicely. It's not patchy at all. Like, I'd say that these are just as good as some high-end shadows. I'm going to take a JH34 brush with this nice burnt orange shade, and then possibly a little bit of this color, so we'll kind of mix them. And I'm just going deeper into the crease, so lower than the transition shade, just right in there. I'm taking the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to go in with this nice red shade and mix it with the brown shade. These layer over each other really nicely. There's no patchiness. It blends so nice. And then I'm going back in with the orange shade just to kind of blend that out. For the shimmer on the lid, I'm going to be taking this gorgeous rose gold color, and let's try wetting it. And this one I don't think is at drugstores, but it's really cheap. I just have the big bottle because I go through so much of it. So this is a JH41, spritzing my brush, and then going in with that lovely rose gold shade. And for the inner corner, I'm going to take this shade, and this is a Morphe M431, just a tiny little pencil brush, and popping that on the inner corner. Okay, and if you want to amp up this look just a little bit more, or get like a shadow that's just a little bit, has more oomph to it, this is the ColourPop Amaze Super Shock Shadow. These are so incredible. They launched all of their single shadows and then the palettes, and I think that kind of took over these, but these are just as good as high-end shadows. I am obsessed with these. So I'll show you. I just take my finger, I don't want a brush or anything, just dipping into that. And I'm just gonna go over top of that shade that we had. And it's kind of hard to see what it does since I already had a shadow on, but even there you can see it just amps it up. Looks like my camera's gonna die. So I'm just gonna take a minute, work on the lower lash line. I'm just going to go in with the shade that we used in the crease, and then I will be back. I am back, and since I was waiting for my camera to cool down, I decided to go ahead with eyeliner because when it comes to winged liner, I have to be pretty close to the mirror to know what I'm doing. So I'll tell you what I use. They're both by L'Oreal. So the gel liner I use just to do my rim, so tight line and then waterline, was the L'Oreal Carbon Black Pencil Perfect eyeliner. And then for liquid eyeliner, this is by far my favorite liquid eyeliner of all time. Hands down. I've tried Kat Von D's, I've tried Bobbi Brown's, MAC's. I am obsessed with this one. It is the L'Oreal Flash Cat Eye liner, and there is like usually an insert so you can use it as a stencil to make your own cat eye. It's a little big for me and just for my eyes, so I end up with a really intense wing when I use it, but it has a brush tip instead of a felt tip, so I find that it just works better. I prefer brush tips as opposed to felt tips. For mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. You guys know this is my favorite. I don't even know why I announce it anymore. This is the only mascara I use. Just gives you like beautiful, voluminous lashes without that clumpy look. I feel like a lot of volume mascaras just give you that like spider leg look. This one doesn't. Next, it's the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I'm taking a Makeup Shack T42 brush, and I'm going in with this shade. I just went on the forehead to kind of blend everything in. I don't like it too dark though, because then it looks like you have like a helmet. Okay. So we got a nice contour, and then I am going in with bronzer as well because they both serve two different purposes. So the bronzer I'm going in with, oh my gosh, it smells good, I just opened it. It's the Butter Bronzer in just the original bronzer shade. I feel like it's impossible not to be happy when you're using this bronzer because it just smells so good. Also bronzing down the neck. For blush, I have the Holy Grail. Everybody loves this one. It's so good. It's the Milani Luminoso blush, and I'm taking a Morphe JH04 brush and just going onto the cheek. And you don't really need highlighter with this one since it's such a like shimmery blush, but I'm going to be applying some anyway, just so you guys have an option there. And then for highlighter, this is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter. Normally I wouldn't add this too, but we're gonna do it. This is a Morphe 510 brush. And then for lips, I'm super excited for this because these are such cheap lipsticks. They are the Wet n Wild Mega Last Matte Lip, and I have it in Skinny Dip and Bare It All. The key with these is to wear a lip liner with them, because if you put them on their own, they look terrible. Like, I'll just show you guys. They're more creamy than I remember, but you can kind of see they're a little chalky. That color is not for me. We're not going to use that one. So the lip liner I'm going to be using is the Milani Spice Lip Liner. As you can see, I've had this for a while. I'm going in with Bare It All by Wet n Wild, and it's this nice peachy shade. And the lipstick actual packaging is really cute. It has this little lip thing on here. And for lip gloss, I love these. I've loved these since high school. They're one of my favorite glosses of all time just to use. It's the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is the shade Fortune Cookie. They're the best. They're not too sticky, but they're not that like greasy feel. It's the perfect consistency of gloss. Okay, so that is the finished look for how to make drugstore makeup look expensive. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any other recommendations, please leave them down below. And for future reference, I upload every single Wednesday, and then I will be uploading on Sundays as well. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!